You know the rep. You know exactly which one it is. It's not the last rep on the set. It's the one before that. The one where your body sends the signal and your brain, without you even noticing, starts writing the ending. Your hands start loosening. Your breath gets ragged on purpose. You find a reason. You always find a reason. And here's what nobody says out loud. The reason feels real. The burn feels like damage. The shake feels like failure. Your nervous system is screaming, and every instinct you have is telling you, this is the wall. Stop here. This is the edge, but it's not the edge. It's the test, and you've been failing it so long, you've started calling it a limit. That's the lie. Not that it's hard. It is hard. The lie is that hard means stop. The lie is that the signal is a verdict. You've been treating pain like a sentence instead of a message, and the message isn't done yet. The message isn't stop. The message is this is where it counts. But you close the book before the last page every single time. And then you walk out of that gym carrying a version of yourself that is slightly smaller than the one you could have been. Every session, every set, every rep that you put back on the rack, one short, and you feel it. You feel it in the car on the way home. That low-grade thing you call tiredness, but isn't tiredness. That's not fatigue. That's the weight of the rep you didn't do, and it compounds. It compounds the way everything compounds, quietly, invisibly, until one day you look in the mirror and you're looking at the math. You're looking at the accumulated total of every decision you made when the signal came, and you chose the exit. So let's hold that. Let's stay in it for a second, because you don't get to skip this part. You are not undertrained because you don't know the program. You're not undertrained because your nutrition is off. You're undertrained because there is a specific rep, a specific moment in a specific set where you have made the same decision every time for months, maybe years. And that decision was to stop, not because your body failed, because you handed the wheel over to the part of your brain that was built for survival, not for growth. That part doesn't care what you want to become. It cares that you're alive tomorrow. It will always vote for the exit. It will always make the stop feel logical. It will always dress the quit in the language of wisdom. Listen to your body. Live to fight another day. You already did the hard part. But you know the difference between the rep that would injure you and the rep that would change you. You've always known. You just keep pretending you don't. Hold the bar. Stay there. Feel what this actually is. This is a man who has built a very sophisticated system for stopping before the thing that scares him, not the pain. You're not scared of pain. You've been in pain. You've trained through injuries, through bad weeks, through grief you didn't name. You're not soft. That's not what this is. This is something more specific. This is a man who is afraid of what he finds out about himself if he doesn't stop. Because if you push past that rep and you have more, if there was more in there the whole time, then every time you stopped, that was a choice. Not a limit, a choice. And that's a harder thing to sit with than any set you've ever done. So the system protects you from knowing that, and you let it. Now we pivot. Because there is another man. He's not built differently. He's not wired different. He doesn't feel less pain. He feels the same signal at the same rep. His nervous system sends the same message. His lungs burn the same way. His muscles shake the same way. The difference is not physical. It is not genetic. It is knowledge. Specific, earned, irreplaceable knowledge that you can only get one way, by going past the rep anyway, enough times, until you know what's on the other side. And here's what's on the other side. Not a second wind, not a mystical thing. What's on the other side is 2 more reps, 3 more reps. Reps you didn't think were there. Your body, given no exit, finds the next gear, not always, not dramatically, but consistently, with a consistency that will rewrite what you believe about yourself if you let it accumulate. You go past the signal once. You find out the signal was not the truth. You go past it 10 times. You stop flinching when it comes. You go past it 100 times. You stop hearing it the way you used to. It becomes information instead of instruction. It becomes data instead of a door. That's the relationship. That's what you're building. Not tolerance for pain. That's the wrong frame. You're building a different conversation with your own body. You're becoming a man who hears the signal and says, I know what this is. I've been here. I know what lives past it. And then you go. That is not aggression. That is not ego. That is knowledge. That is the accumulated record of a man who kept going, rep by rep, set by set, until his understanding of his own capacity was built on evidence instead of assumption. Most men's understanding of their capacity is built on assumption. They assume the signal means what it sounds like. They've never tested it enough times to know. So they carry a ceiling that was never real, a ceiling that was installed by the first time they quit and reinforced every time after that, until it feels as solid and permanent as bone. It is not bone. It is habit. Habit dressed as biology. And you can break it the same way you built it, rep by rep. But you have to go past the rep tonight, not someday, tonight. So here's what this looks like in the room. Not a concept anymore. Concrete, specific, real. The set starts. The first few reps feel like control. You're in it. The middle reps get heavier. This is normal. This is the work. Then the rep comes. You know which one. And the signal fires. Your body wants the bar back. Your lungs want the rest. Your brain starts building the case. That was a good set. You hit your number. You can load next time. Smart training isn't just grinding yourself to nothing. And you've got about 2 seconds before that case wins. 2 seconds. That's the window. That's the entire game. Not the whole session. 2 seconds. In those 2 seconds, you don't need motivation. You don't need a reason. You need a decision. One decision. Keep the bar moving. That's it. Not forever. Not 5 more reps. 1. Keep it moving. For 1 more rep. And your body will find the next one. And you will have crossed into the territory where you learn something about yourself that you did not know before. Rep by rep. That's how the knowledge gets built. That's how the ceiling comes down. That's how you stop being a man who assumes his limits and start being a man who has actually tested them and knows the difference. This is not about being relentless. Relentless is a posture. This is about being accurate, about having a true read on what you're actually capable of, not what you feel capable of in the moment, because in the moment, your brain is lying to you. A true read built from evidence. From the nights you went past the signal and found out it was a signal, not a wall. From the sets where you thought you had nothing left, and then found two more. From the accumulated proof that you have more range than you've been using. That proof changes you. Not the way a speech changes you, the way scar tissue changes you. Permanent, structural. You can't unknow what you find on the other side. You carry it. You carry it into the next set, the next session, the next year. It becomes the foundation of a different kind of confidence. Not the confidence that comes from telling yourself you're capable, but the confidence that comes from knowing you've been there and you know what's there. Most men in your position don't lack effort. They lack evidence. They work hard, genuinely hard, but they stop at the same place every time. And so their hard work is building a very strong floor in a room with a ceiling they've never touched. You can be exhausted and still be limited. You can be disciplined and still be self-contained inside a boundary you set the first time you quit. Breaking that boundary doesn't take more discipline. It takes one different decision at a very specific moment that you already know is coming. The rep is not a surprise. You know when it's coming. You feel it approach. You've learned to predict it because you've been stopping there long enough that your body has scheduled the exit before the set even starts. That's how deep this goes. Your body is quitting before the signal even fires because it's learned the pattern. Break the pattern. Not with intensity, with intention. Before the set, know the rep. Name it. Tell yourself, that rep is not my exit. That rep is where the set actually starts. And when it comes, and it will come, right on time, the same as always, you will already have made the decision. 2 seconds. The window. Keep the bar moving. And then you'll be there. On the other side. Not transformed. Not euphoric. Just there. With 2 more reps in your record that weren't there before. With a data point. With 1 more piece of evidence that the signal is a signal, not a sentence. 1 more rep that belongs to the man you're actually building, not the man who stops where he always stopped. Do that enough times and the man who stops where he always stopped doesn't exist anymore. He got replaced. Not by someone different, by the same man with a different record. A man who has been to the other side enough times that he doesn't need to be convinced it exists. He's been there. He knows the address. He knows what's waiting. What's waiting is not peace. What's waiting is not relief. What's waiting is 2 more reps and the knowledge that you found them. That's it. That's the whole thing. 2 reps and the knowledge. Rep by rep, that knowledge becomes your foundation. Rep by rep, the ceiling comes down. Rep by rep, you stop being a man who is limited by a decision he made once and kept making. And you become a man whose limits are real, tested, actual, and further out than you've ever been. The bar is loaded. The set is about to start. The rep is coming. You already know it. You've already felt it in your hands before you even touch the bar. It will come right on time, right when it always comes. And this time, you already know what it is. You already know it's not the wall. You've been told. More than that, you've been reminded of what you already know. Somewhere underneath the habit, underneath the pattern, underneath every exit you've ever taken. You know what lives on the other side. You've been there. Maybe not enough times to trust it yet, but enough times to know it's real. It's time to go back. It's time to stop treating the signal like a verdict and start treating it like the beginning of the rep that actually counts. The man who keeps going past that rep isn't different from you. He's just been there more times. Go more times. Build the record. Build the knowledge. One rep at a time. In the only place it can happen, past the rep you always quit on. That's where you live now.